Ben Duty with a question for Joe Visconti.
You describe yourself on your website as pro-family and as a, quote, staunch constitutional conservative, end quote. Which specific policies would you champion as governor to promote those ideals?
First of all, the Second Amendment. I didn't get a chance to finish that a minute ago. The question of would you repeal it? The governor can't repeal it, but the governor has many powers in the negotiation of other bills, and more of that won't be said today here. We have a time and place where we're going to speak more about what I will do as your governor on the Second Amendment. The rule of law, we're the Republican Party, and the rule of law is something that everyone's forgotten about. We see these things happening in Connecticut at the federal level and the state level with marijuana. We see the illegal immigration, driver's licenses. We see the blatant flouting of the law right in front of us. So that's constitutional. Does a contract matter? If we have a contract to do a construction project or we have a contract to do something, we don't honor it, we have a problem. We have to straighten it out. You have to finish the job. There's nothing the state of Connecticut is doing to honor so many laws that are passed on the books because they look the other way. They don't enforce them. So this has been going on and on and on for decades. We've reached a critical point in our nation's history. We all see it at the federal level, and it's trickling down to this one-party rule, this Democrat Party in Connecticut. And by the way, this is not what I would call Newington Democrats or New Britain Democrats, people that are hard workers. I've talked to tens of thousands of them over this 10 months that I've been in this race, and they're with us. They see it and they're angry. And so they all know, if they're our age, 50s or 40s, you remember when a law meant something. You remember when you would follow the rules. Right now they're making up the rules every day. The other rules don't matter. This rule doesn't matter. So we're seeing the rule of law, which is constitutional at every level. It's the Constitution of the United States and the state of Connecticut that are being avoided, evaded, through malfeasance, misfeasance, you call it what you want, and everybody knows it. So before we lose the rule of law and fall into chaos, this country, we need a leader that's not going to be afraid of the Democrat machine and not going to be afraid of the liberals. I'm from West Hartford. I fight the liberals all the time for 10 years. I know how they think. Thank you.
Listen, we need a couple of days to go over how Governor Malloy's violated the rule of law, whether it's executive orders that force personal care attendants into a union against their will, whether it's use of private emails that's been mentioned before to conduct state business without being able to disclose what you're talking about, shaking down state contractors day after day for $10,000 contributions to his re-election campaign against the laws of the state of Connecticut. This governor knows only one thing. If it's good for him, he'll do it. Damn the consequences. I will not be that type of governor. I will respect the rule of law. You also mentioned pro-family. I think what we ought to talk about in terms of being pro-family, we shouldn't be afraid of those issues as a party. There's an attempt again to get assisted suicide passed through the state legislature. I do not support that. I will not support that, and I will do anything I can to fight that from happening.
Senator Boucher.
Hello? Is it working?
Yes.
Well, I think family issues involve, number one, family financial security, and that's jobs right now, the financial security of their family, their health care, their education. And there are other issues that belong in the home and government staying out of the bedroom. I believe in parental notification. I do believe in supporting women's right to choose, however. And I do believe that the state should stay out of some of the social issues that it's been intruding in over many years.
You're prepared for it? Oh, I'm sorry, Mayor.
Okay. Look, I think that there are two things that I can promise you I'm going to do as your next governor. One, I'm going to engage the parents, our parents, in the educational process of their children. For too long, we've let parents take a pass on being engaged in what happens in the classroom and what happens in the continuum of education. So it's critical that the state put every effort, a surge if you will, on getting parents engaged in the education of their children. Secondly, most importantly, I'm going to get that family a job. There's no better feeling than being able to walk into work in the morning, to be able to provide for your family in a way that all of us can achieve the American dream. The Democratic Party loves to talk about the minimum wage. This is a campaign about the maximum wage. How do we get people to live up to their very potential and to get the job that they'll be able to buy a home, support their children, and send them off to college? That's what my administration is going to be about.
Now to the